Hi, my name is Sarah Root, and I'm delighted to share with you my ePortfolio for the non-degree endorsement for Building Leadership program at Fort Hays State University in order to become an administrator in the state of Kansas. I wanted to start with my philosophy of educational leadership because I really think that's central to who I am and where I'm going as a school leader. And my educational leadership philosophy focuses on ensuring high expectations are provided for every single student by providing access to the general education curriculum and creating an inclusive school community that improves student outcomes for all. As an ELL teacher and then special education teacher, I'm really focused on how do we include everyone and how do we really target some of those communities and all communities to make growth. So that's really my focus, and my personal motto is success without integrity is still failure. My ethical leadership is really important to me, which includes strong relationships. Those are just really central to my personal philosophy and really where I see myself going in the future as a school leader. This semester has been a lot of fun completing my practicum, and this last year as I've really focused in on administrative leadership opportunities in my school building and others. So I'm going to go ahead and focus on district first. So for my district activities, my mentor was the Assistant Director of Special Education. I'm really focusing in on special education administration, so that's why I went with her as my mentor. And I was really fortunate. She has a great wealth of knowledge, and I was able to complete a lot of activities that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to be part of, and so that was a really neat experience. So this included a special education focus group that I'm still on, where we are steering the district towards some new initiatives and some new practices within special education, and it's very exciting. So I'm really honored that I got to be part of that. Also, when I met with my mentor at the beginning of this semester, we were talking about different activities, and I had shared with her that we had completed a parental rights public service announcement through our special education for building leadership class, and she was really excited about that because that's not something we have in Shawnee Mission School District. So I re-recorded that video, and right now it's being reviewed so that they could possibly put it on the school website. It's something that parents can access. It's really important to me that parents understand special education and their rights. So, and putting it in language that they would understand versus in what I call like special education lingo. So I wanted to make it accessible for parents. So that was one of the activities I completed. That was really cool and just neat to be part of. And the other activity that was really meaningful and impactful is I was able to attend the 2021 Tri-State Regional Special Education Law Conference with our director and assistant director last month, and it was 2 days of amazing speakers, keynote speakers, lawyers from all over the United States who were talking about current special education law, and I had wonderful conversations, so many takeaways that I'm able to take back into my own leadership within my building and as I interact with other people in the school district. So that experience was amazing. Let's see. Oh, and I really enjoyed getting to do the evaluation for the special education teacher through Fort Hays in the KSD initiative. So that was really neat. For elementary, I was able to go to one of the feeders for Shawnee Mission North, and that was really cool. As well, the principal there was outstanding. She's been a principal for a long time, 8 years at that location, and she really has a community where people go there and they stay. And so I really wanted to learn as much as possible from her. So I was able to spend several days shadowing her this semester, and it was a really fun experience. Like I said, let me get to the right slide. I did focus in a lot on special education amongst everything else, but she knew that my background was special education, so we had quite a few opportunities to kind of explore that beyond with other things as well. But one entire day was spent doing behavior. And so just by chance, that was not planned. I think that's one of the neat parts of shadowing, is that you're able to really see what happens on just any day, right? And so in this day, we just happened to have, we came into the building and started with the student in crisis. So I spent my morning going through that process, which I have never actually been through on the administrative side. And so calling district police and the Johnson County Mental Health and being involved in that. And then right after that, we went into another behavior situation. What the student was acting out, there was extreme behaviors. It had been a pattern of behavior, and so I was able to collect data that had been collected for the past 3 weeks and then put it onto a spreadsheet and really look at the different patterns. And so then when we met with the teacher, we were able to offer strategies and different things to try and what we were going to do to replace that behavior to meet that student's needs too, and try to get him to curb his behavior. So and part of that was we created a social story, and then also part of that we went through the school improvement team process, the SIT process, and talked about what that looked like at the elementary level. She was, the principal there was instrumental in bringing new SIT processes to the Shawnee Mission School District, especially at the elementary level. Her program is very, very effective. So I got so much out of that day and that activity in particular. I also got to do some budget reconciliation, which was great because I had just finished the building finance class this last summer, so I was really ready for that. So as soon as she pulled it out, I was like, I know what this is. So that was fun. And then one of the other things that I really enjoyed while I was there is we got to do teacher walkthrough observations. And so Shawnee Mission School District has pushed out a new procedure for that, and it's through an app on the iPad. And so the principal had her iPad, and she let me go through and evaluate several teachers. We did these walkthroughs, and then she shared what she was looking for, and then she would ask me if I see such and such, and I could share that. And we completed several of those, and I got to see a range of teachers and a range of grades, and it was a really neat experience because I'm normally on the other side as a teacher. So that was that one was fun as well. I learned a lot, and I really enjoyed the elementary school that I where my my elementary principal mentor works. So leads. And then secondary was my focus. I am currently a secondary educator, and so and have been for a long time now, and so that was my focus. So I am going to get to the right slide here. It's going to take me a minute. The administrator over special education was my mentor this year. He's new to being over special education, so there was a lot of like give and take where he was mentoring me and then I was helping him as well as he adjusted to his new position. So it was a really good give and take experience in terms of what we could learn from each other. So one of the things was the P card. So I had just, like I said, I had just finished the building finance course, and I had been talking to my bookkeeper, and I found that we really weren't doing P cards maybe as correctly as we should have been doing. There wasn't really a procedure, especially in the special education department. Our department is the largest department on campus. We have at least three or four different funds. It depends on what we're doing and what counts as a fund. But so anyways, so it really needed to be cleaned up, our system, and so I created a new P card, some new pre-card procedures in order to clean up this this budgeting issue that we were having. And so that was a really great applicable activity. Another thing that we did it should be on the next slide. There it is. So over this summer, I started meeting with the administrative team at Shawnee Mission North, and we were really talking about what do we want to focus on for pre-service. So for pre-service, I always do a presentation on special education. That's part of pre-service, you know, especially for our new teachers, but also for all teachers. But this year we really were wanting to drive home a new concept. And so when I was meeting with the leadership team, and we were kind of talking about what we want that to look like, what we wanted to share with teachers was that you are a teacher for all students, and so that every teacher is a special education teacher, because every teacher has special education students in their classes. And so we are responsible for everyone's learning. And so that was really our focus and our message. But then we wanted to dive into, how does this happen? How can we support you? How do you feel that you can successfully take on that, so that you can work with kids and not and feel comfortable, and also push them and have high expectations? And what does this look like? So we created this presentations for teachers, and it's actually differentiated. We were very strategic about how we placed teachers. So one of the groups was for co-teachers, and so our presentation was very specific for them in terms of how do they work together and how do they have a better system in order to work with kids. And then the rest of our staff were split up into the other ones, and so we could also target like electives and core classes and various aspects of teaching. And so that was differentiated, and that was a really good experience. We got a lot of really positive feedback, and we continue to work on trying to provide support for teachers across the building. So the rest of these activities, like I said, there were a lot. Obviously I work on the master schedule every year. Last year we did it 4 times because of yay COVID. So that is and then also I got to be part of an expulsion hearing experience. I didn't get to go to the hearing itself, but I got to be part of everything up until then, which I normally do MDRs, but I'm not normally involved in the other aspects of the expulsion process. And so that was really important for me to know, because that is just something that I haven't been part of in the past. And I think that's about it for my activities, or the highlights of my activities. This has been just a really great experience, and I've learned a lot, and it's just, I can't believe it, but it's been a year and it's coming to end, and I just want to say thank you, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.